This episode of the Glossy Podcast is brought to you by Triple Whale. Struggling to make sense of your data? Triple Whale offers a range of solutions designed to streamline your e-commerce operations. With Sonar, for instance, you can transform your brand's meta campaign performance in just a few clicks. Learn how brands like Zox, Allen, and Paw.com get increased conversions, accurate attribution, and higher ROAS. Visit triplewhale.com/meta to learn more. That's triplewhale.com/meta. Join us at Glossy's Beauty and Wellness Summit from November 11th through 13th in Napa, California. Influential beauty and wellness leaders will meet to discuss strategies and pain points, discover innovative tech, and ultimately make valuable business connections through one-on-ones and casual networking. For a limited time, we're offering $200 off with promo code GBS24, no spaces. Again, that's GBS24 with no spaces. Go to glossy.co/beauty summit for more information and to secure your pass today. Thanks for tuning in to the Glossy Podcast. I'm your host, Jill Manoff, and today I'm sitting down with Ariel Stoddard, who joined the direct-to-consumer underwear brand MeUndies as its Chief Revenue Officer in February. We're recording on October 7th, and this week, MeUndies is rolling out a brand refresh, which will kick off with a big campaign. So I wanted to ask Ariel about the brand's new direction, including how it speaks to the underwear industry's evolution. And on that note, I want to inquire about MeUndies' consistent double-digit growth and profitability when competitors have proven less lucky. What's the secret sauce? Welcome, Ariel.
Thank you so much, Jill, for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Am I speaking out of turn? I say direct to consumer. And what does that mean anymore? Are you guys still 100% direct? Where are you selling? What's going on?
Yeah. No, you are definitely right to say direct to consumer. So we sell on MeUndies.com as our primary channel, but you can also find us a couple of other places. So we are on Amazon. We're also in, I think it's 20 Nordstrom locations across the country and on Nordstrom.com. We're also on Zappos.com and in some Von Mauer, I don't know how to say it.
Totally.
In the stores, yes.
Okay, great. Amazing. Well, you have this amazing background resume that includes time at Fabletics, time at Bain & Company. I would love to know what drew you to the company, to MeUndies.
Yeah. So a little bit of background. A fun fact, I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. So my career got started as a paralegal and I quickly pivoted. I went to business school. I went to Bain and did a couple years in management consulting. And so then from Bain, I decided it was time to go in-house. I joined Fabletics, and that is where I spent over 6 years. And honestly, it's where I really grew up and found my passion for building and really playing at that intersection of strategy and marketing and growth and digging into that push and pull of performance marketing and brand marketing. And so had a couple of different roles at Fabletics. Obviously, 6 years is a long time. But what I primarily did there, I launched our men's category. It was a huge collaboration with Kevin Hart. Quickly grew and scaled that brand. And then I oversaw the launch of our scrubs category. And then I ended up as general manager, where I was overseeing the P&L of our women's and our men's and our scrubs categories. So,
oh my gosh.
I know.
So
it's a lot. It was great. It was fun. It was fast. But in that time, after I'd been general manager for about a year, a little bit more than a year, I found that I was being pulled and nudged back to kind of that building stage. So smaller company, vast landscape of opportunities, smaller team, smaller business, just really was itching to get my hands dirty again. They were feeling a little too clean. So I started talking to the team at MeUndies, and it just felt like that's where I was being called to go. So here I am. I've been here for, I think it's almost 8 months now, and it is truly everything that I had wished for. So I mentioned like the stage of the company, the product, the way that we think about data and customers, like all of that has been really inspiring for me here.
Yes. Well, I think about the stage of the company. I would love to get your take because I think of Fabletics. It's probably, a household name, and maybe that's largely contributed to its large retail footprint. I would love to get your take on MeUndies and kind of the awareness as it stands. It's been around since 2011. I know it so well inside and out. No, I don't know about that. But also, I'm like, does my sister who's like a mom in St. Louis, Missouri, I don't know. Anyway, where do you see opportunity in terms of awareness, and where do you think it stands?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have quite high brand awareness, which we're very happy about, but obviously there's always room for more. And so when you think about opportunity at MeUndies, I really would take it back to our existing customer base. So we are very much known for our fun, quirky prints. A lot of people know us for like our Match Me section of the site where you can very easily buy something for you and something for your partner or whomever you'd like to match with. And those customers have just been so incredibly loyal supporters of the brand. You really don't see a higher LTV from any other group of customers that we have, but that's kind of where the opportunity is. So thinking about the fact that we don't only have fun, quirky prints, we also have incredible other just kind of basic styles that if you're the type of person who wakes up and is like, I just want one of my 100 pairs of black underwear, like we have that for you too. But the difference between us and all of those other brands out there that people are choosing from is really the quality. So I will admit, I had not tried MeUndies before I started talking to the team. And so one of the things that I care the most about that I was looking for when I was thinking about joining was like, is the product right? Because you can't really fake it. If you don't have the right product that customers want, like there's not much that you can do. And absolutely, the product is amazing. I was floored. I'm obsessed with it. It's all I wear now. And so I want more people like me who don't necessarily want to put avocados on their butt, but want really high quality underwear and want to treat themselves and feel good. Like I want that whole cohort of customers to know MeUndies and to be excited about what we bring to the table.
For sure. I know the brand. I will just say TMI, but like when it's laundry day and you grab for that first favorite pair of underwear,
Yes.
like the good underwear, not that the rest of my underwear is shit. Well, maybe.
We all know that feeling. I hear you, Jill.
Well, tell me, part of awareness happening now, this big campaign, by the time this comes out, we will not be breaking this embargo. So what is happening this week?
Yes. So I could tell you a little bit about the campaign.
Yeah, break it down. Yeah, tell me about the concept. I know it has a cute title. Hold on, don't tell me. Welcome to the Underworld. So yeah, what inspired this concept? What does that mean? And how will this play out? I think across out of home, it will be in mailers. It's a large investment. Yeah.
Yes. It's going to be everywhere. We're going to be taking over the world. No, I'm just kidding. But it is a big, important moment for us. And so welcome to the Underworld, like you said. It is what we're calling our new brand platform. And with it, we're really aiming to kind of redefine the role of underwear in people's lives. So think about it as infusing some intentionality into what is like really a daily ritual. So when you wake up in the morning and you reach into your underwear drawer, like you mentioned, and you're like picking out that pair, we want to invite you into the underworld. It's your own private playground. You know, you can really embrace what's happening beneath the surface for you in that moment, in that day. How are you feeling? Are you looking for confidence? Are you looking to feel sexy? Like, what do you want? And how can we bring that to you? And so this campaign, like you said, it's going to go live across lots of different channels, our website, paid media, out of home. Like it's really going to open people's eyes to what MeUndies is all about, but just like cutting through the noise of what has become quite a crowded market.
It's become so crowded. And a lot of brands have fallen off. A lot of brands have been acquired. There's some consolidation happening. Anyway, it's so interesting. When it comes to the channels that where you're marketing, where you're shooting out this campaign, I mean, historically, like what's worked best to acquire customers or just gain their attention?
Yeah. I mean, I think about this so much because it kind of goes back to what I said that I love, which is that play and push and pull between performance marketing and brand marketing. And so I think, companies these days are really trying to figure out like what is going to work best and what is kind of a very quickly evolving environment. So we've always invested in both. So we have a really strong brand identity. And a lot of this campaign was about really going deep into what do we love about MeUndies and what do customers love about MeUndies and how do we bring that to the surface a little bit in a way that, like I said, cuts through the noise. And so obviously that's kind of like the foundational brand building part of that. But then there's also like, how do you reach as many people as possible? And that kind of brings in the performance marketing piece. And so historically, we have always tried to find that balance of performance marketing and brand marketing. And we will continue to do that. But in this day and age, I'm sure it's all about testing and learning and trying to see like, how do we meet people where they are? Where is this going to resonate? And so thinking about, alternative channels like podcast is a great example. We were super early on the podcast stage. Like, is that where people are going to want to kind of like hear and learn about it? Like, how do we find them and really bring them in is kind of the question and the challenge.
For sure. I'm sure influencers are part of this campaign, but like, do you need like a celebrity face, like an ambassador that's fronting the commercials, the video and all of that?
That's such a great question. I love that question, especially based on my background. I have the highest respect for campaigns that bring in celebrity faces. I think it is a tried and true way of really accelerating growth and increasing your reach very quickly. I don't personally believe that it is a necessary part of a campaign. And so here at MeUndies, when we were thinking through like, what do we want to do here? Like, how do we want to make this happen? It, of course, came up in the conversation around, do we want to tie it to a person? And we very, very thoughtfully decided no. So I mentioned that Welcome to the Underworld is really meant to be a brand platform. And so that will continue on. Obviously, we're going to listen to our customers and figure out what resonates. But our hope is that it has legs and it stays for quite some time. And this campaign that we're going out with initially this week is really meant to be a little bit more of like an intro into the platform. And for that, we purposely chose not to attach a face to it because MeUndies, we've been around for a long time. Our customers know who we are. And really, this wasn't about making a crazy change. It was really about going into our soul and what makes MeUndies and just bringing that to the surface in a more provocative way. So that's not to say that later down the line, we will not bring in additional faces as part of smaller campaigns on top of this platform. But for this launch campaign, we really wanted to keep it about the brand because it's so special.
It's so special. I'm trying to crack how you guys are profitable when it's such an exception. But like, what's been your approach to fundraising? What's been your approach to digital marketing in terms of that spend and how it can get out of control and kind of sacrifice profitability in favor of growth and all those things?
Yeah. I mean, I cannot speak too much to the fundraising. I'm only 8 months in, and that hasn't been a topic recently. But I will say we are extremely data-driven and we are very customer obsessed. And so if you combine those two things, if you think about how we make decisions, it's always based on, is this something that we think is going to drive value for our customer? And if we have that a hypothesis that it is, we always go back to kind of double check, like, were we right about that? Were we wrong about that? And we're very comfortable making quick pivots and changes in order to chase what you're talking about, to chase that growth, to chase that profitability. And so, I mean, it's always a dance, right? Like you never know what's going to come and hit you. But I think MeUndies has really played that dance or done that dance really well.
Yes. Do you guys have your own stores?
We don't. So it was before my time, but we did open a store. I believe it was in Century City. I think it was right before COVID hit. So obviously it didn't make sense to continue that strategy, but who knows for the future?
Hey, watch this space. Well, circling back to the campaign, it's interesting the way that you were talking about it, kind of like some days you want to feel sexy, some days you want to, I don't know, just be comfortable. It kind of speaks to, I don't know, that self-expression that we hear like Gen Z is all about that. But is there a certain message that to this date you've led with, like your customer is all about comfort, maybe, and that's always been your messaging? And also, got to hear about so many questions in one, but your Gen Z focus.
Yeah. Okay. So let me start with the first question. Have we always been about something in particular? So, MeUndies has always been known for this idea of self-expression. And so, like I said, we were not trying to do a complete 180 and turn ourselves into a different brand. What we are doing is really digging deep into, okay, we're known for self-expression. Like, people really seems to resonate with our customer base. Like, how do we bring that to life in an even more interesting way? And so that ties into our campaign very, very closely. This concept of welcome to the underworld, it's very much rooted in the idea of play. And so play for us is a really exciting anchor point because it is inclusive of so many different types of feelings, right? Which is very closely connected to self-expression. So like I said, when you wake up in the morning and you think about, what underworld am I in? Like, I'm in my own private playground. Like, how am I feeling? You could be feeling sexy. You could be feeling confident. You could be feeling lazy, honestly. And you just want to be as comfortable as possible and sit on the couch. That all ladders up to what this campaign is all about. And so, yes, of course, we are very, very focused on the quality, and we are known for comfort and our super soft ultra modal fabric. And people, it's kind of like table stakes for us at this point because we have just delivered on that time and time again. And so it's really about, for us, building on top of this incredible product assortment that obviously is comfortable and you want to wear it every morning, but it's more than that, right? Like, we can be more intentional about this moment in our lives.
We're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor. What's stopping you from delivering your best Meta campaign performance this holiday season? A more complete view of your customers and how they purchase. With Triple Whale's Sonar integration with the Meta Conversions API, you can send enriched first-party data back to Meta to help you optimize your marketing mix. That way, you can identify more customers, improve your targeting, and drive a higher return on ad spend. And it's as easy as flipping a switch. See for yourself and discover why leading brands like Zox, Allen, and Paw.com trust Triple Whale to transform their growth with deeper insights. You could have your best Q4 yet. Visit triplewhale.com/meta to learn more. That's triplewhale.com/meta. What are your goals for the campaign? And looking back at it, what would equate to success?
So there are two things that I really have in mind for this. One is truly the obvious, right? Like, we want to reach new customers. You asked me earlier, what is the opportunity for MeUndies? And really it's, we're quite a reasonable size right now, but there's so much opportunity to be bigger. And so there are people out there who ideally with this campaign, we're going to cut through and reach them, and they're going to think, oh, I didn't know about that brand. And then they're going to see it all over the place and people are going to be talking about it. And so that is one of our top goals is, are we reaching a new customer base and are we bringing people into our MeUndies community? And then the other equally important goal is we are always looking to nurture our existing customer base. So this is not like, okay, we've got these customers, but like new shiny object in the distance. It's not that at all. Everything that we do, we want to think about, okay, our most loyal customers, super fans, how can we excite them? How can we keep them engaged? How can we make them even more loyal than they are and increase that LTV? And so those two things in parallel are going to equal success for us with this new platform over time.
Nice. Tell me about this amazing LTV. What can you tell me about your customer loyalty?
I can't tell you all of the details, but I can tell you that customer base that I mentioned we call them our adventurous print lovers. They have extremely high LTVs. They're very loyal. Many of them have been with the brand for many, many years and counting. And so that's kind of a little bit of our secret sauce. I can tell you that is we have always been so community focused on the people who have been with us and given us that loyalty. And we always keep them in mind. We do a lot of testing when we think about our designs and our upcoming assortments to really understand, like, is this going to resonate with people? Is this what they want? And we really think through, does it resonate with our existing customer base from a retention perspective? Is it going to resonate with a new, different customer base from an acquisition perspective? And keeping the balance of that within our assortment is really, really important, which then obviously helps with our LTV.
Yes. Word of the day. Word? It's not a word. Anyway, tell me, your customer behavior, obviously post-pandemic, a lot has changed and people have different priorities and they're changing how they're investing and they care about, I don't know, sustainability. Like, what is most surprising to you about your customers' behavior? Or like literally, how has it shifted? I don't know, maybe since you joined the company, or what can you gauge about what's changed in the last couple of years?
Yeah. This is all kind of my point of view looking in, right? And making some very heavy assumptions because I haven't truly been here for all of this. But I think obviously COVID changed us all, right? So going from being out in the world to being in our homes and then going back out into the world, I think we can all relate to how it changed our point of views, how we shop, how we dress. I think that's obviously the piece of it that is most relevant to us as a company, that we are trying to make sure that we understand and kind of evolve with our customers. So during COVID, obviously people were like, ooh, I'm at home. I want to be as comfortable as possible. Like, how can I do that? And we were so set up for success there. And so what's important to us is as people have started going back out into the world, what do they want now, right? Like, and we've certainly seen that people just think differently about how they show up in the workplace and what is acceptable and how much they prioritize and value comfort, right? So we're staying in tune with that. We're trying to make sure that, okay, are there things that we can create? Are there products that we can create for people that can help them in their personal journeys as the world around them changes? So I think that's the biggest one that we're keeping an eye on and trying to make sure that we're, one step ahead as people shift their behaviors.
Right on. Well, I'm sure this was strategically timed. Your campaign and your shift and holiday is coming up. And what a time, I'm sure,
time to be alive.
Underwear and socks and loungewear and your world. I'm sure this is, like, for most brands, the hottest time, but especially for you, like, what a hot gift, I think. But tell me about the importance of Q4 and your expectations this year.
Yes. Q4 is obviously so important for so many brands out there, including us. It's actually, I think, one of the most fun times of the year because we are all participating in it. So you really start to be able to think like, okay, I know what I'm going to be doing for Q4 as just a human being, as a person. I'm going to be shopping. I'm going to be deal hunting. I'm going to be looking for the perfect gift. I'm going to be trying not to save it until the last minute. And so being able to so closely connect with your customer in that moment and then translate that into our marketing strategy is, I think, so very fun. This year is obviously interesting because we've got the election. And so everyone's talking, everyone's buzzing about, our customers going to show up? Are they going to shop? Like, our CPM is going to skyrocket. Obviously they are, right? Because of all of the election coverage and advertising. But at the end of the day, like, people are just out there living their lives in Q4 and we want to meet them where they are. So getting into their minds, really giving them great deals that excite them and giving them amazing product that feels so super giftable and that gets them excited about going to the holiday party or gifting their family and their loved ones. So we're all about it. We're excited. We're going to be flexible. We're going to just see what happens and take it as it comes. And then what's interesting for us specifically as a brand is we go straight into our next peak season, which is Valentine's Day, because we absolutely crush it over Valentine's Day because we've got this big like match me couples print thing going on. It's like a fun, sexy holiday for some. It's just a fun holiday for others. And there's so much that you can do with it. So that's also kind of the excitement of Q4 is that it kicks off what is kind of just like this upward trajectory of like time and energy and customers shopping. And it becomes a really exciting period for the brand.
Oh my gosh. I mean, what an Instagrammable kind of idea, the matching couples, depending on your comfort level, showing off your skivvies.
Yes.
Is this huge for like, I don't know, the media impact or whatever? Have you got a hashtag associated?
I'm sure there will be. I don't know what it is yet.
That's okay. What's been your approach to like holiday promotions? Is it more about bundles and it's about maybe exclusive limited time things? Or discounts probably also apply.
Obviously discounts, right? But it's also, I think, a lot about timing and it is a lot about newness, right? So people, we know this, they are shopping earlier and earlier every year. I just got an email, I think it was Free People. The gift guide is up on the site, right? Like first week of October, like this is just the world that we're living in. And so we're thinking a lot about what is the right timing to get people into that holiday spirit? And then how do we keep them engaged throughout what it has become a very long period of time? Because it's no longer starting at the end of November with Black Friday and going into the December holidays. It's starting at the beginning of October. And so
wild.
It's absolutely crazy. But then I think about it and I'm like, I'm doing it too. Like I'm looking, I see a gift guide email and I'm like, what's there? Who can I get it for? Can I get it for myself? This idea of self-gifting is also huge. So how can we support people in that endeavor? Because we are so big on, treat yourself, right? Like that little microdose of play every day is MeUndies. And how can we inspire people to do that for themselves during this time period? And then, like I said, the newness, so long period of time, how do we give people surprises and delights that they're like, oh, I maybe shopped 2 weeks ago, but this is cool. This is new. Let me go check this out and see what's going on.
That's why I don't shop early. I'm like, something better is going to come up.
Yeah. Then we have the people like you who are the holdouts and wait. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different strategy.
You pay more for shipping. It's just a big mess. Anyway. Does growth for you mean, well, obviously reaching more customers, but is it necessary or plans to expand to more categories or maybe just like geographic regions, or how would you describe growth from here?
Yes, we do have some exciting category expansion coming very quickly, actually, down the pipeline that I wish I could talk about, but I can't, but you'll hear about it soon. And let me tell you, it is exciting and fun, and it's all going to make a ton of sense. And I can't wait to share it with everyone.
We'll wait and see. Gosh, considering, again, the evolution of the space, like, who do you consider your biggest competitor?
Biggest competitor? I mean, I hate to name names. I think there's the obvious big players in the space, right? Like, and yes, they're competitors, but in some ways, they're also brands that we look up to and are inspired by, and we always want to be viewing the landscape as different types of opportunities, right? So I'll name some names just because it's fun, like Calvin Klein, right? Like an institution and both a competitor and also a brand that we're like, wow, like they've really made it. They've done it. And we aspire to have that type of success one day as well. And then there are just also so many smaller brands out there on the landscape that, again, like they just keep it interesting, right? You're always looking at what are they doing? What are they launching? How can we all play off of each other in this space to keep creating product for people that they love? So we definitely see it as kind of like a fun competition.
For sure. Well, Calvin Klein's in a lot of stores. Do you think you'll be expanding beyond Nordstrom and some of your players, like more partners?
Yes. That's definitely on our roadmap and in our pipeline. We just made an exciting new hire. We have an SVP of sales, so more will be coming.
Along with you, I know you guys are in growth mode. Do you guys all go to the office every day?
We go in Monday through Thursday.
I like that.
Yeah.
I miss an office.
do you though, really? Don't lie.
I promise. Thank you so much, Ariel, for being here. This was fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me, Jill. I've really enjoyed it. Appreciate you taking the time.
That's all for this episode. Our theme music is by Otis McDonald. Be sure to give us a rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to the Glossy Podcast. See you next week.